Come away, come away.
I know this musical.
Yes.
Can I guess what it is?
You can.
I think it might be South Pacific.
You are absolutely correct.
Oh!
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I didn't know last times, but I know this one. Yes.
This is, last time, yes, was more of a new show, not a
Yes.
Broadway show, and this is classic,
Classic.
all the way.
Classic.
And of course, South Pacific, Rodgers and Hammerstein, we'll keep talking about it throughout the show.
Opened in 1982, the year I graduated from high school.
Did it?
April Fool!
Oh, you got me!
We're doing April Fool's Day today, but
Surprise.
we really are doing South Pacific. But tell us how South Pacific and April Fool go together.
You know, I curate our shows
She
here on
does.
Sing for Your Supper, and Kevin thought up the April Fool, and then I was doing my research. So here's my thinking, lovely audience. Younger than springtime. Springtime
April Fool.
is April. So there you have April, younger than springtime, April Fool. That's how I got there.
Perfect.
Kind of 6
Perfect.
degrees of.
We couldn't think of an
Sing for
April
Your
Fool
Supper.
show, so if you can think of an April Fool show,
Put it in the comments.
put it in the comments. Yeah. So
And Fools by Neil Simon doesn't count
no,
because that's a play.
that's a play. It has to be a musical
Yeah.
because you can't sing for your play. You have to sing,
Sing
for
for
your
Your Supper.
Yes. So the premise behind our April Fool episode is that we're going to make dishes that you think are one thing and they're actually something else. Does that make sense to you? It'll make so much more sense to you when we're done. So I'm going to make an apple pie. What are you going to make?
I'm going to make a chocolate cake
And
with glaze.
Oh, with glaze.
Yes.
And I'm going to finish with the best burger you ever had in your life.
Ooh, sounds like a great meal with 1 main course and 2 desserts.
I love that. So I'm going to start in on our apple pie.
Okay. What, can I peel the apples?
No, I think I found a better way than peeling the apples.
Oh,
This
okay.
recipe is from the Depression.
Ah.
And we're going to make a substitution in the pie recipe that was done in the Depression because they didn't have a lot of these things and they were very expensive, the ones they had. So I'm going to go get the apples real quick.
Okay. Well, you probably run out to the tree and pick some
Yes,
right
I
off
did.
the branches.
And here are our apples.
Well, they're round.
They are. And what are those, Barb?
Those look like little Ritz crackers.
They are Ritz crackers. Now, I bet most people out in TV land have heard about the Ritz crackers apple pie.
Mock apple pie.
Mock apple pie. And there are no apples in this pie, but everybody swears that it's going to taste like apple pie.
I have had it.
You've had it.
I've
Okay.
had it several times.
I have not had it. So we're going to see if we can fool people on April Fool's Day and feed them this apple
Yeah.
pie and
Yep.
see if they go for it. I'm going to give you have some aggression today, so I'm going to let you take it out on the
That
crackers.
was off camera.
I'm going to let you
Everything's fine.
take it out on the crackers.
With
Just use your hands.
Oh, just my hand.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna wash them again real quick.
Oh, good. Yeah, they don't have to be tiny, tiny, tiny. They're
Okay.
just, we want them to look like apples, feel like apples.
Okay, got
So
it.
I've used store-bought pie crust. You can certainly make your own, but this is just the one I'm using.
Cheater pie crust,
No, store-bought. There you go.
like my garlic.
Yeah, kind of like a
Kind
garlic.
of.
So I've rolled the bottom out, and I'm gonna just make the top just a little bit larger so we can put that on the top. So we're gonna crunch the Ritz crackers up. Well, like I said, this is on the boxes of the Ritz crackers during the Depression.
Smart marketing.
Yeah, and Ritz, you want to use Ritz crackers. Don't use any other brand because Ritz has all that butter in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to use that, and as if it didn't have enough butter, we're going to add a little more butter before we're
We
done.
could talk about the nutritional value.
Yeah,
We won't.
yeah.
April Fool, it's very healthy.
I will tell you, well, it's not very healthy. I'll tell you
That
at the
was
end
the
how
April
many
Fool part.
calories, are in there.
How are we doing? I don't.
That's good.
You said
That's
not
good.
to.
Yeah, maybe that
Let me
one,
make sure
yeah.
the big ones are.
Yeah,
cut.
at least, yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
And then take half a teaspoon of cinnamon and put in there. So
Thank you, Brenna.
the trick is that we're going to use all the flavors of an apple pie on these crackers.
Half a
So
teaspoon?
half teaspoon of cinnamon. And will you hand me a fork? We can just do everything today.
I'm exhausted. There we go.
Thank you. I'm going to work on the egg wash. So I have one egg in here and I'm just going to
Hey,
scramble
this
it
is
up.
Pampered Chef cinnamon.
It is Pampered Chef cinnamon that you can
good.
only get at Christmas time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, sprinkling in.
Sprinkling in. Yeah.
I hope
And
I
then
get to do the salt and pepper.
there's no salt and pepper. You can use it in the next recipe, in the burger recipe.
There we go.
Are you worried about the burger recipe yet? What I might be substituting in the burger?
No, I think I'm gonna like it.
Okay.
Quite honestly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So mix that up.
Just with my hands
Yeah,
again.
we might as well. And I have made a concoction here before the show. This is going to be what we pour over the crackers. This is a cup and a third of water, cup and 3/4 of water, 2 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, 1 lemon, and then the zest of the lemon. So we brought that to a boil.
And just the cinnamon, because usually when I make an apple pie, there's other things in it.
I'm following the Ritz recipe.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got my top ready. I'm gonna bring my pan over.
That's a deep
It's
dish.
a deep dish apple pie. Okay, pour those in there.
Pour 'em in here?
Yep.
This is so easy.
I just can't believe this, but
I'll tell you, this is easier than peeling
it
8
certainly
apples.
is if you get your crackers swallowed up.
There's
right.
a few that sneak through.
Now it calls for 36 crackers. Since it's deep dish, I use 2 sleeves, so that's about 60 crackers.
Okay. Again,
Okay.
with the math. Okay.
Yeah. That's been 2 weeks since we did math.
And yet,
All
here
right.
it is, rearing its ugly head.
Just all you have to remember, 2
That was-
sleeves.
2 sleeves.
One hand, remember? 2 sleeves.
Got it.
Okay. All right, now we're going to pour this right over the crackers.
I know you're thinking, how can this taste like an apple pie?
No one's thinking that more than I am. But everyone swears that it works.
I think I had this at like a church dinner kind of function,
Uh-huh.
and we were having the apple pie, and then someone came and told me, oh, guess what?
Really?
And we were all stunned that it was not really apple pie.
Last night I was telling someone that I was doing apple pie for our recipe today, and they said, why don't you do something original, do something special? I said, why don't you just watch the show and you'll see.
That's right, because we should give a little shout out that now we have our YouTube channel.
We do.
And we always will post on Facebook, but you can also go to our YouTube channel and catch past episodes and recipes, all thanks to our IT, head of marketing, camera person,
Costumer.
the lovely Brenna McConaughey. Woohoo!
Is that what she does? I didn't know that.
Just a little bit of everything.
All right, so I have 2 tablespoons of butter.
To
That
go
I'm
with
just,
the sugar
yes, so
and
I just,
the crackers.
yeah,
and
so who cares if you taste like apple pie?
it's gonna taste good.
All right, so we just dot the top of that with that. I swear.
It's pretty amazing, and somebody
right.
came up with this, and
We're
it
gonna
worked.
put the top on,
Okay.
and I just push it down in there like that.
All right. Oh, well, you're doing that. Hey, South Pacific.
Yes,
Rogers and Hammerstein.
yes. I'm gonna fold the
2
top
guys
over the
who kind of
bottom.
knew.
what they were doing.
Making a little envelope fold. Knew what they were doing. Also, the book, Josh Logan helped write the book.
Yeah.
Who helped direct. It was based on James Michener's book, Tale of the South Pacifics, which if you haven't read it, it is quite a wonderful book.
He also wrote Hawaii, didn't he?
Yes. Actually, interesting. They offered him $500 for the rights. Now, this was
For
back...
South Pacific?
Yes. It was back in 1949. He said no because...
Because it was $500.
because it was $500. But when they had bought the rights to Green Grow the Lilacs to do Oklahoma, they gave the author 1.5% of the gross of the box office. James Michener said, you know what, I'll take 1% of the gross. Good deal. He did very well. He was able to retire from his job and write full time because South Pacific was such a huge hit.
Is that how you have time now to do this? Because you got all the royalties for
Yes.
Overture?
This is, I do this
Yeah.
full time now. The money is just rolling in.
That was a smart move.
It was a very smart move. Look at that beautiful crust. You're fluting your edges.
I'm fluting my edges. If If you've never fluted the edges before, you just take one finger or thumb and two and just stick it in there like that.
Look at that.
And that flutes it for you. This way you don't have to worry about cutting off the edges.
What if you want to piccolo the edges?
I guess you just use your little finger.
Use your pinky finger.
The pinky finger. Piccolo.
Piccolo, the piccolo.
Ooh,
Oh, that looks
it's a
beautiful.
long way around there.
Coming around the edge.
All right, there we made it.
Look at that.
Okay, now we're going to cut 4 little
Make
slots.
little breathing slots.
Yes, or it will explode on us, and we don't want that to happen.
Nobody wants an exploding mock apple pie. And it won't be a mock explosion.
Nope.
It'll be a real explosion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so pretty.
All right, and one last thing to make it golden brown. We've got 1 egg
Yes.
that I've scrambled up here, and I'm going to just lightly dust it with the
The egg yolk?
egg. Yeah,
Yeah, it gives it such a pretty color.
yeah, not too much. And that's pretty much it. And then we put it in 425-degree oven for 30 to 35 minutes, and then we're supposed to have apple pie.
Protect your crust in any way? Or you just throw
I
it
just
in
kind of watch and see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not in for that long because it's at such a high temperature. So it should come out pretty well.
there? All right.
And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to finish doing this and we can move on
Okay.
to what's your surprise?
My surprise is I'm making a chocolate cake, but it's got a surprise ingredient.
Okay.
We'll get back to
Is that chocolate?
that. No, there is chocolate in it.
Oh,
Okay, here we go.
It's not a faux
So
chocolate.
we start with 2 cups of flour. This also has 3/4 teaspoon of salt and 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. It's going in there.
That sounds like a normal cake to me.
So far, so good, right?
Yep.
Cocoa, 1/2 cup of cocoa.
Perfect.
Yep.
I don't think you're going to say April Fool.
1.5 cups of sugar. And I'm going to grab a whisk. You have one back here?
Yep. Oh, it's in the second drawer down. Second drawer, where you were, second drawer down.
Here we
April
go.
Fool! No, I'm just kidding.
This is a big boy. This one.
Yeah.
Coming right back at you. Okay, just gonna whisk all this together. That cocoa in there. Don't skimp on the cocoa. Get some good cocoa.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference.
It's $1 difference. Go for the
Yeah.
more expensive one.
Okay, we're gonna put in 2 eggs.
Just to clarify, those are from chickens, right?
As far as you know.
Oh.
April Fool.
They're
So
ostrich.
from the chicken.
I know ostrich eggs are much
That'd
bigger.
be much bigger.
Yeah.
I need a lot more flour. Okay, we're gonna put in 3/4 a cup of warm water and, oops, I forgot mine. Sunflower oil.
Okay, great.
1/4 a cup of sunflower oil. I'm gonna add that and get it up to 1 cup. This is most of our liquid, but we're gonna throw in something else here in a
Not
second.
a lot of liquid.
Not a lot of liquid. That goes in. Gonna mix that up, break up the eggs, and of course we're gonna give a teaspoon of vanilla. Go. And start mixing that up. Gosh, I don't know if that's gonna be enough wet ingredient. So you know what we're gonna add? 1 1/4 cups of beet puree.
Beets?
Beets.
In a cake?
Yep. Yep.
Never heard of such a thing.
Well, here we go, April Fool. So I
Maybe
just
some-
bought the beets at the store. I peeled them. I boiled them for about 30 minutes till they get soft, and then I put them in the food processor to make my puree.
Nice.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
They are beautiful.
So pretty. Full of moisture, of course. So that's gonna bring out the chocolate flavor, enhance it, and add moisture to the cake.
That's a smart idea.
Isn't that cool?
I've heard of using applesauce in cakes, but never beets.
Okay, well,
Where did you find a beet recipe for a cake?
Well, when you had the fun idea of April Fool, I started researching. And I found it online.
It's always fun when one of us has the idea and the other one has to go searching.
That's right. But I think, I've heard of this. I've made, in the past, I've actually made beet brownies.
Okay.
Because they really do make it moist. And beets are naturally sweet. And so they bring out the sweetness in the cake and enhance the chocolate. So see, there wasn't a lot of liquid, but those beets, there you have it. Just want to mix it up real good. And this just makes 1 9-inch cake. So I've got my cake pan, a little oil on the bottom, and parchment. And I'm gonna, but now I wanna move on real quick because I wanna show you this cake has a glaze. And so I've got a half a cup of cream and 1 tablespoon of light corn syrup in here. I'm gonna heat this up to simmering, and then I'm gonna pour it over 3 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. And that's gonna make my glaze. But I've gotta get this simmering so we have time to melt and cool. So this is going in, and I'm gonna pass it over.
I'm moving on to my burger now. And my burger begins with black beans. There's no beef in this burger. It's a black bean burger. So what I have here are 2 cans of black beans, 2 10-ounce cans. They've been drained. I put them in a colander and let them drain for 30-40 minutes. So we've got all the liquid out of it because we want them to be pretty solid. So I'm just gonna mash them up here. Tell me some more about South Pacific while I'm mashing.
Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for just a second. It opened in 1949. They had, Rogers and Hammerstein had 2 huge hits. They had Oklahoma, then they had Carousel, and then they did, Legroom? They did one that was not a big hit. They were just made enough money back, but they were disappointed. So they were really looking for something that would propel them.
It seems to me that I remember that they had to wait to do that show because the leading lady in it was doing Peter Pan. Is that true?
I don't know if she was doing Peter Pan. She was touring. They wanted Mary Martin. She was touring. I'm not sure it was Peter Pan.
Okay.
But she was touring in another show. And they waited and got her. And then, of course, they had Enzo Pinza, big opera star, who, according to my research, in his contract, would only sing was only obligated to sing 15 minutes each performance.
Each performance?
He wanted to save his voice.
Wow, you got to make sure that the tempo's right, or
Yeah.
they just stop right in the middle of it.
And Mary Martin was so concerned, because he was a huge opera star, that her voice wouldn't compare with his, and she would blow out her voice. So they promised her that they would never sing together, which they said they mainly kept. I think they sing at the end of a couple of songs, but when I thought back through it, I thought they kind of did protect her voice, which was nice. Okay, I've got this simmering, and I'm going to pour this over my chocolate, and we're going to let it set and melt that chocolate. Hopefully that's going to work. Nice. We're going to see if that works. This is kind of a first for me. I love it when I look up old Tony Awards and it goes, the 3rd Tony Award. So this was the 3rd Tony Awards.
Oh, wow.
South Pacific did very well. It won Best Musical, Best Actor, Best Actress, so Enzo Pinza, Mary Martin. Myron McCormick, I found this fascinating. He was Billis, such a great role. He won Best Supporting Actor. He played the entire run of the show.
Oh my gosh.
1,925 performances.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Juanita Hall won Best Supporting Actress. She was Bloody Mary. It won Best Director, Best Book, Best Score. It eventually won the Pulitzer Prize. It is quite a beautiful show.
Yes, it is.
Can't go wrong with South Pacific.
I'm
What do you
looking
need?
for the little measuring thing.
Spoons?
Yes. There they are.
Oh, here.
All right. Now, you see I mashed up the beans, but I left some of them whole.
Kind of like the crackers.
Yeah. So it's not really smooth because I want to have some texture. So I'm going to put in, I've grated these onions instead of chopping them. I've just grated them. There's about a half a cup of onions. I'm going to stick that in there. Then we need some binding sources. So I'm going to use an egg, 1 egg, and I'm going to use 1 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs. So these are Italian seasoning.
Okay.
Then I'm going to put in a half teaspoon of chili powder.
Ooh, little kick.
Yep.
April Fool. Thought it was
And-
a bland little bean burger.
Yeah, not bland. And then I'm going to put in another half teaspoon of some Cajun seasoning that I got in New Orleans last year.
Nolans.
So I'm going to stick that in.
This is going to have a little kick to it,
Yep.
isn't it?
And then I'm just going to mix that all together. I've got,
And here's my cake ready to go into a 350 oven for about 45 minutes. Now, I always worry about over baking. So what I suggest you do and what I do is I set my timer. If it says 45 minutes, I set my timer for 20 minutes. Then I turn my cake or put it on another
Good
rack
idea.
to get it evenly baked. And then I usually will set it for 15 minutes and I start testing it. 9 times out of 10, it's done before the time they say. So
And my
err on the
oven's,
side of under baking.
my oven's exactly the opposite.
So we'll put
I have
this
to go longer
in.
with my oven. All right, so see, we got that all mixed up here. And we're going to pour that into patties. This is going to make about 4 nice sized patties because they're not going to shrink like beef does. So we want to make it just a little bit larger than our bun.
You said larger than your bun.
Yes, I said larger than your bun.
Oh, okay. That's
Can I
a horse
use
of a
the-
different color.
Can I use the arms right there in front of you?
Oh, this?
Yeah, put my patties on.
Give it a little zap. I might.
I might get more than 4 out of this. Who knows? We'll see.
I'm going to give my chocolate a little zap because I'm
Okay.
not sure quite warm enough.
See how nice that holds together?
Ooh.
Then I'm going to put it in my oil back here. I've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to put that right in. Turn it up just a tad. And I'm going to salt and pepper it. And
This
just-
would be a great thing during Lent
Yes.
on Fridays. You want an alternative to meat? You want to have something that's like a burger?
Yep.
That would be a great thing.
So I'm going to let that go. And you're working on your...
I'm getting my chocolate glaze.
Now, you said you have some connection with South Pacific. You said you directed it a couple of times?
I was in it
Oh.
once. I was a nurse who had a couple of lines. Iconic, you know, the whole pivotal for the show. And then I directed it out at Theater in the Park many moons ago. I think it was, I don't know,
Did
20 something years ago.
Did you wash that man right out of your hair?
We did wash that man. Actually, yes, a local actress, Krista Eiler, was my Nellie, and she washed her hair every night. One time I remember there was a bucket that came down, and there were some bugs from the night before. So we had to check every night and make sure the bucket was free of June bugs.
Oh, yes.
The joys of outdoor theater. But it's, you know, it's such a beautiful show. When I was doing the research, of course, one of the big songs, and one of the reasons they wanted to do the show was to make a stand or have a say about racism.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's the beautiful song, You've Got to Be Carefully Taught. And after Hammerstein died, they went through a lot of his letters, and he kept a lot of the letters that people wrote him about that song. And they said some people just thought it was amazing that he did it. They championed him. Other people said he shouldn't have done it. They had trouble booking the show in the South because of that song. So it's just fascinating that, you know, here we are, how many years later, some of the same issues facing us, but they wanted to take it head on, and cheers to them for doing it.
Yeah, that's great. I had a friend that directed it in Pennsylvania just recently, and he went to the Hammerstein house and got to see some of those original letters.
Oh,
That's
I
really
would
cool.
love to do
Yeah.
that. Love to do that.
All right, I'm waiting for you to glaze your cake.
Oh, shall I do that? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, let's pretend that 45 minutes has passed, and here is, look at how dark and moist that looks. That's the beets, people. Surprise. April Fool. Now I'm going to take the glaze, and you know, I put that teaspoon of corn syrup in it. That's what's going to make it shiny. It's always so impressive. We are just going to pour it over and spread it around. And you can just let it drizzle over the sides.
It's like ganache.
Yep, yep. Oh boy, this is gonna be. And so, you know, just like with Kevin's apple pie, you could tell people, hey, have an apple pie, chocolate cake. Now, of course, there is chocolate in here. But
Yeah.
then after they eat it and go, Wowzer, you could say, well, you got your serving of vegetables in too, because there's a cup and a half of beets in here.
That's really cool. It's a good way to get your kids to eat vegetables too.
It is. It is. Because who wouldn't want some chocolate cake?
I would. I'm going to have
Doesn't
some
that look
too.
pretty?
Can I get in here and get a spoon?
Sure.
Thank you.
Now, have you ever been in South Pacific? Done
I
South
have
Pacific?
not, but it's a show that I've always wanted to do because I love the music so much. I saw it, the revival in New York. I'm making a condiment for our burger. I've got some mayonnaise and I'm putting some hot sauce in it.
You're good. This is gonna burn my mouth. That'll be your April
It's not
Fool.
gonna burn your mouth.
Look at that glaze. Isn't that pretty?
That's great.
Num num num. You know,
Yeah.
it's a great show. I would say.
What I love to, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'd say it's a little long now. That second
Yeah.
act. There's a lot of reprises. We're wrapping up World War II. There's evacuations.
Yeah.
I remember being there's a lot of scenes in Act 2, so you know it'd probably be wise to like update it just a bit, maybe condense it. I think it'd be much more popular if we maybe just tighten it up a bit, because our audiences have changed since 1949.
What I loved about the revival is that overture. You know, it's beautiful. So it was in Lincoln Center, and the stage when they get to Valley High, the orchestra pit slid back, and you could see all of the instruments, and that Valley High just kind of came out of the bowels of the theater. It was really
They
gorgeous.
taped that one for PBS, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Is that Kelly O'Hara?
Yes,
And
I got to
Danny
meet.
Bernstein
I got to meet Kelly O'Hara.
as Billis.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm gonna flip our burger.
Matthew Morrison, I believe, was Cable.
That was when he did that right before he went to do the television show. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called Glee.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's vaguely familiar.
I was there the last week before he left to go do Glee.
You know, if you've never seen South Pacific, and you can find that PBS version, do yourself a favor. Pop some popcorn, make a bean burger,
And have some faux apple pie.
and have some pie, and make an evening of it. You will not regret watching that show.
I'm going to get our bun ready.
Yeah, Kevin said bun again.
And I said our bun
I
this
should
time.
get some plates, right?
Yes, you should.
For our pies. These are big bean burgers.
Yes, they are big bean burgers, but these are big buns. So I've got my hot sauce and mayonnaise on there. I'm going to put a piece of pepper jack cheese.
My tongue is gonna be on fire, Kevin.
It's going to be good though.
Oh my goodness. I'm kind of a wimp. Truth be
No.
told. I'm a little bit of a wimp with the spice. Oh, got a splash down over here. Whoopsie. It's a friendly kitchen.
It is. We're all friends.
We're all friends here.
Hey, why don't you do a promo for your show that will be opening? It'll actually be up. I think it's up.
Wow,
Yeah.
well, thank you for mentioning
Yeah,
that.
sure.
We have an original musical called The Sparkle Tones that I wrote with Krista Eiler, and it's based on her mom was in a singing group in the late 60s called The Sparkle Tones. So we took that idea and kind of ran with it. It's about a singing group who gets stranded in a diner in Paxico, Kansas, and things happen. It's going to be at the Johnson County Arts and Heritage Building and their theater, and we're co-producing it with Johnson County Parks and Rec.
It's the world premiere.
It's the world premiere. Come out and see it. I guarantee you'll laugh. You'll have all the emotions.
That's great.
Thanks for the plug.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It may be the next South Pacific. Who knows?
I'm waiting on the call from the Pulitzers.
I'm going to serve up our burger here.
Ooh, this burger. I wish we had smell-o-vision again, because all those spices that are in that bean burger. Oh, look at that. I really want to make this. And the recipe will be on the website, right? And our YouTube channel.
Let's put a little salt on that.
Okay. Oh, that looks beautiful. Salt, let me do it.
Oh.
Salt and pepper.
I don't think we need pepper. 'Cause
Okay.
we've got enough
Salt.
spice. And we're going to put some lettuce on it too. Let's put 2.
Got any beets over there?
I think the beets are in the dessert. All right, and there you go. Let's cut it in half and we'll
Okay.
taste it.
That's a nice bun.
Yeah, I found those at the grocery store. They're 7 green buns.
Okay.
All right.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I have to, this is a big bite. Mmm. Mmm.
Mm.
That is fantastic.
I would not know that's not burger. That is really good. That is really good.
I'm going to say something bold.
Okay.
I like it better than a regular burger.
I think so too.
I like the texture.
Mm-hmm.
It's healthier.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, it's cheaper right now.
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Mmm.
I like that. And I like that the consistency is not all mush.
No,
That there's some whole beans in
it's
it.
firm. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Try this. You're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You want to try a piece of beet chocolate cake?
I do.
Better get a new knife, huh? And you need something for your pie?
I do. I'm going to use a regular knife though. That is so good. I would have never believed
We're
that.
going to share a piece here.
Okay. And I'm going to cut into the apple pie.
Oh, look at that. It kind of looks like red velvet because of
Oh,
the
it
beets.
does.
You could tell people it's red velvet. Just tell them whatever you want.
Tell whatever you
Just
want.
don't tell
We
them
don't
about
care.
the beets until after they eat it. Oh, that crust looks gorgeous. You can see, I don't know if you can see the top from the egg yolk. Golden. How pretty that color is. Mm-hmm.
Let's taste. Let's save that for last.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm. You need any glaze?
I gotta get the glaze.
Okay.
Glaze is the best.
I'm going from the top.
All right.
You never know.
Mm-mm.
It's so good.
So moist.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Really moist.
Really moist, but really
Not
good.
overly sweet.
No.
Mm. It's really good. Easy too. One bowl, throw it all in. There wasn't a lot to it. I mixed it by hand. This is an easy cake. Hardest thing, and you could buy canned beets and probably mash them with a potato masher.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Okay, folks, you know what we did. Look at that.
Doesn't it look like layers of apples?
All right, let's see.
I'm telling you, it's, if you didn't know. You would swear that was an apple pie.
It's like an apple pie. That is so cool.
The little ice cream on top?
Your people, no one would know it's not apple pie. Ritz crackers, folks. Ritz crackers apple pie.
Beans, crackers, beets. April Fool.
April Fool, folks.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you have a great April Fool Day and a great springtime. And you all feel younger than springtime. And think about South Pacific. And we'll see you next time on Sing for Your Supper.
Bye-bye.
Bye.